Jazz Fun at Jazzahead 2025. And with me here is the quartet called Hilde. And Hilde is?
I'm Maria and I play the trombone.
Marie and I'm the voice.
Julia and I play the violin.
And I'm Emily, I play the cello.
Hilde, this is a band based in Cologne, but you're not from Cologne originally.
Yes, we are, like some of us. Okay. I'm from Cologne and Julia also. And Emily is from Bonn, so very close by. And Maria is the only one from the east.
I'm from Berlin originally.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've performed here at Jazzahead last night at Schlachthof, and you had this showcase, and you kind of showed who you are in a 30-minute set, and you didn't play single tracks, but you had something like a suite. Is that one composition, or was that kind of feeling the atmosphere and improvising? Where was what?
We do both. So we have our tunes or our songs and our structures, but then we go into the concert with an improvised and open mindset and dramaturgy. So we improvise the order and also the way we play the songs, and then there's also bits that are completely free.
I mean, this is a band with a setting that's kind of unusual, right? I mean, voice, trombone, cello, and violin. This is pretty unusual. So how would you kind of find together?
So I think the core of our work is that we always meet for 1 week every year and really distance from everything around us and bring our own little structures and melodies and compositions. All 4 of us are writing, and then we come together and arrange the music together or change the material that we bring in the band to make it really a Hilde sound. And this is how we come together musically, I would say.
What was the question? How we met?
Yes.
But this was also very important to say. Actually, we met in a very huge orchestra called the Dorf. We all played there. And I think it was your idea to put us 4 together and say, hey, let's have a jam. And ever since, it was 2018, so we're together since almost 7 years now. Yeah, and ever since we're a band, we're Hilde.
Yeah. We were very happy about the first rehearsal because we all felt like we were very connected and listening to each other. And of course, the instruments have the quality of being able to blend really well into each other.
But if you say orchestra, does that mean that you all come from the classical world?
We have different backgrounds. So Emily and me as string players, we have actually a more classical background. So you have more kind of a jazz background. But we all, study jazz and are in different, have different backgrounds actually musically, and that's actually also a good thing about Hilde, that we bring all our backgrounds together and do something new together.
And just to make it clear, because this was your question, we didn't meet in a classical orchestra. It's a band where we met, but a very big band.
If I see you, you must have started pretty early and pretty young at age. And what kind of orchestra is that, or what kind of band do you play in? Is it something like Bujazzo, or how would I?
It's more like a network of improvisers in the area where we all at that time studied and lived. So it's a pool of people, intergenerational, who are into many from like the improvised music scene in North Rhine-Westphalia, But this is like a while ago, so we're not all in playing there anymore. Julia moved to London, and we moved as a band also from there, I would say. But it was a common ground when we started.
Cologne seems to be a pretty good place for improvising artists. I mean, Berlin, of course, too, but Cologne has kind of grown in the improvising scene. You have Stadtgarten there, big center for jazz and improvising artists. Also, the Jazz Week Cologne is there. How much would you kind of benefit from that environment?
I think that's different. I think for us individually, I would say we're more, as Hilde, a North Rhine-Westphalian band, so we have definitely benefit from the scene in North Rhine-Westphalia, as we also will you already lived in Cologne when we met, right? Yeah, I would say we're more like a North Rhine-Westphalia scene band than just specifically Cologne for Hilde.
Because this huge band that we played in, it's more like the Ruhrgebiet.
Ruhr area.
The Ruhr area. And we, three of us studied in Essen, so we are like, all over North Rhine-Westphalia, kind of, but of course we also played in Cologne and, liked the scene very much. Yeah.
Was it your first time being here at Jazzahead performing?
Yes.
So now, was it your first time that you have been here at Jazzahead? Because
We've been here already 2 years ago, but without having a showcase, and I think this is changing pretty much everything, because now we really have a goal, we really have something to invite people to, now that we're here with the showcase, I mean. But we have been here already 2 years ago, and we're happy to be back.
So did you use the time for making contacts, for networking? In what way?
I think like everyone does, we walked around and of course there's people we already know or know a little bit, so we continue a conversation we had before, we have a coffee together, we have a chat about the situation in the music scene or in general, but then of course we mainly, like you said, tried to invite people to our concert, and we think many people came and were interested.
If you think of the improvising scene, I mean, you said, what's the situation like? What is it like at this point?
I think it really depends where you are. Also in Germany, I think it makes a big difference at the moment if you live in Berlin or Cologne or North Rhine-Westphalia, because I think everyone who's interested in the German scene might have noticed that there have been big changes in the funding situation. But as far as I know, it's much worse in Berlin right now, because there have been so many cuts and only the big institutions still get a lot of money, and the free improv scene or the non-institutional scene is getting less and less. But I think, speaking for Cologne, because this is also the place where I am based, I think there were a lot of fights against the cuts and lots of demonstrations, and we also have a few people that are really active and really try to stay in contact with the city government. Together we could achieve that many of the cuts were taken back. So actually the situation in Cologne is still quite good compared to other places, I would say. But still, it's very important to be very active at the moment and really awake and not trusting too much that everything will stay the same. So I think there will be many fights.
This is, of course, interpretation and not objective truth, but I feel it's a little bit also like some bad things in the funding system have already happened now. And before that, there was a lot of stress and fear. And now it's more like adapting, finding new solutions, working together, and maybe, also we're all in the same boat.
You have moved to London, and you might have a different perspective on things that are going on in Germany. So what would you say about the development of the music?
Of the music or the funding scene. So compared to London, Germany always had much more money for music in general. So for the improv scene, there have never been that much money in London at all. You can apply for some fundings, but it's very rare. So the situation has been never that good like in Germany. So nobody complains that much. Of course, people complain, but I mean, Brexit is not the best idea anyway for the exchange. It didn't help at all. But I mean, it always has been tough for musicians in London. That hasn't changed. And I think, for Germany, I would say it always has been really good to live as a musician, actually. It's actually really, because that's also the reason why a lot of international musicians move to Germany, because of the funding situation. And I think as a musician it's easy to immigrate in the music scene when you're from abroad. And that's actually what I can say from my perspective. So there are good things about Germany, there are bad things about Germany, and the way how I see it from my perspective from London, of course, the way how Germany has voted, that hit me really hard. Maybe when I was talking to my friends, probably more, that it affect me, even if it's not really affecting me, as I'm not living in Germany anymore, but just like that that I just don't see it every day, and it's more like that I just can see it in the news. Of course, I'm traveling very often to Germany, but it's still like it makes me feel like, no, I don't want to live here anymore. So it makes me okay. I'm happy where I am at the moment, and I think London is not the worst place to be at these times. So that's just only my perspective.
Hilde, thank you very much. But the last thing I want to know is, what are your hopes and wishes for the future?
For us as a band, I think we would really like to play internationally more.
Yes, and of course stay a band as long as we can. That's I think the biggest goal for us, and go on.
Yes, and playing more often in London. And of course, actually just continue how we do, and just keep on moving and everything.
And composing more music, playing more together, developing everything that we already developed even more. So continuing.
And more gigs in Germany, so that you don't all go to London, right? Thank you once again.